This dirty two-timing whore! Sandy doesn't think I know what's going on between her and Constantine, but let me tell you, I'm on to her. Where do I even begin now? So the other day I was talking to one of my athletes, Guapino, about Sandy, the two-timing whore she is, got in bed with another man, and that it was a huge deal to me. But he kept insisting that it wasn't a crime for a woman to lay in bed with a man, both naked, if nothing had happened. I don't believe in that at all. I think it's a huge deal no matter what. All this talk about Sandy and her being a dirty whore got me so mad that I just couldn't stop. I didn't know how to stop. I kept asking Guapi no questions about Sandy. I keep going off on the fact that she lost my towel that I gave to her. You know that means so much to me. And that if she lost it and she was so careless about it, that she's definitely sleeping with Constantine. She doesn't care about me. I badgered Guapino so much about Sandy that he finally came out and told me that Constantine told him that Sandy and him slept together. I was so mad and so shocked that I fell down in a trance. I actually passed out. When I woke up, Guapino told me that Constantine stopped by and that Constantine was going to come back to talk to Guapino about something. Guapino told me when Constantine comes back that he's going to ask him about what happened between him and Desdemona so that I can hear everything that happened. In order for me to hear this, he told me to go hide in the closet. And I did. Constantine arrived and they started to talk. He starts going off and saying how him and Sandy slept together so many times and that he wants nothing to do with Sandy anymore, but Sandy's all over him and won't leave him alone. Then all of a sudden, I heard this chick come in and start screaming at Constantine about how he's a dirty whore as well because he gave her a towel that he probably got from another skank. I almost fainted when I heard the word towel. After hearing Constantine admit that he slept with Sandy and that the towel was with him, at this point, that's exactly when I knew I had to do something about this. After Constantine left, I came out of the closet and started weeping to Guapino about how much I love Sandy. I also said, this chick needs to die. I told Guapino that I was going to put rat poison in her food, but he told me that was a stupid idea and that I should take a bottle and hit her over the head. He also told me that he would take care of Constantine, if you know what I mean. A little while later, my friend Jerry comes in and gives me a letter, and I open the letter, and the letter says that I am going back to Panama to coach a team exactly where I started, and that my replacement as coach is going to be Constantine. I was so mad, I didn't even know what to do with myself. When Sandy heard the news, she jumped up and down with excitement and came up to me to hug me, but I was so mad that I punched her in the face, and she ran out crying. The next morning, I started to interrogate my maid about Sandy, but she kept insisting that nothing has happened. I told my maid to go get Sandy and bring her to me. When she came back with Sandy, I told her to wait at the door and to not let anybody in no matter what. I started to yell at Sandy and tell her how could she cheat on me and that she's a dirty whore, but she kept insisting that nothing has happened, she hasn't done anything. But I couldn't take these lies anymore, so I marched out and slammed the door behind me. That night after we had dinner, my friend Jerry came over and said let's go for a walk, so I went on a walk with him. But before I left, I told Sandy that I would be up with her in the bedroom very shortly. While on my walk, this is where I realized that I needed to kill Sandy and that I was going to do it tonight because I could not have a wife that cheats on me. When I came back from my walk, I heard someone screaming, crying that they got stabbed and that they were dying, and it sounded like Constantine's voice, and let me just tell you, the sound of him suffering made me so happy. Then I continued to go upstairs to go kill my wife. When I got to my bedroom, I saw that she was lying on the bed, sleeping. I got on top of her and kissed her on the forehead one last time before I killed her. But I wanted to tell her something before I killed her, so I shook her until she woke up. When she woke up, I told her that I was going to kill her. She was like, "Why, baby, why?" I told her it's because she's a dirty whore and she cheats on me, and I cannot have a wife that cheats on me, so she needed to die. But there was something pretty weird about this. She didn't even try to get out of it. She kind of accepted that I was going to kill her, which is kind of weird to me, but I still killed her. I grabbed my bottle and slammed her over the head with it. After I bashed her brains in with the bottle, I put the sheet over her so no one can see what I have done. After this, my maid enters the room and starts screaming to me that Rodrigo has been killed and Constantine has been wounded. Then she starts going all crazy and screaming that I killed Sandy, her best friend. But obviously, I tried to deny it and I told her I didn't do it. But then we heard a little voice come underneath the sheets. It was Sandy's voice. She said very quietly, with all the little life she had left, that no one murdered her and that it was her. After she said that, I heard the last breath get released from her precious body, and then she died. When I heard that last breath be released from her body, so many emotions started to go through my head. I started to sweat. I started to be so confused. A bunch of people came into the room after this happened, including Guapino, and that's when it all hit me. Sandy hasn't been unfaithful this whole time. It was Guapino trying to mess with me and got into my brain and made me believe that she has. I was so mad that my actions took over my body, and I saw a knife on the bed counter, and I grabbed it and I tried to stab him with it. But someone stopped me. When I looked down, I saw my maid, and she was on the floor bleeding out because there was a knife in her. And I looked around, and Guapino was nowhere to be found. My head started going crazy. The room was spinning. I didn't know what to do. It was the weirdest feeling I ever had. I was so disgusted with myself that I grabbed this knife and then I